The President of the Executive Council of Australian Jewry, Daniel Aghion, joins me. Thank you very much for your time. I mean, first up, have you been disappointed in the lack of debate about the rise of anti-Semitism that's happened through this federal election campaign, Daniel, or have I missed something?
No, Steve, first of all, thank you for having me on just before Shabbat comes in. I am disappointed by the lack of debate, and specifically what I'm disappointed by is the lack of leadership. This is something that we've been grappling with for the last 18 months. We wanted to see strong standing up for our community and for our community's contribution and role to Australian life.
I know that you don't care about the politics and what side, you just want the message to be strong. The Labor Party hasn't been great at all in this whole debate. Coalition have been a little bit stronger, but I've been staggered, particularly, Daniel, for us here in Melbourne with such a large Jewish population and the way anti-Semitism's taken off, that it's not been more central, and the leaders on the election trail have not been asked by the mainstream media often enough about what they're going to do about it.
Well, that's exactly right, Steve. We're a non-partisan organisation, and the Jewish community, all it wants to see is its right to be safe and to participate equally in Australian society. We are entitled to have our synagogues not firebombed. We're entitled not to be the subject of death threats and threats of violence. I am surprised that it hasn't occupied more of the debate on the campaign trail, and I'm also surprised and disappointed that we haven't had bipartisan support from the Prime Minister and the Leader of the Opposition standing shoulder to shoulder and calling out together this scourge on modern Australian society.
We'll get to the Greens and what a disgrace they are in a moment, but I referenced there that gathering in Kyong last night. For the rest of our country on the national program that doesn't understand Kyong, it's in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, but it's been redrawn. The boundaries have been redrawn, and I read this morning that several thousand Jewish voters have now been captured within that seat of Kyong. What did you make and what did you hear about that gathering last night and what Dr. Ryan and Amelia Hamer said?
Thank you, Steve. So we've held a number of debates co-hosted with a number of organisations in electorates in Melbourne and Sydney where there's a significant Jewish population, and last night was Kyong. First of all, I think one thing that was impressive was the high quality of the debate. It was issues-based and the issues were squarely tackled insofar as they were of concern to the Jewish community. The second thing that I must say I was pleased by was that there was a lot of similarity in policy position between what was said by Amelia Hamer for the Liberal Party and Monique Ryan, the sitting independent. So, for example, both indicated a support for Zionism being no more than a right of Jewish people to live in a Jewish homeland in Israel. Both of them supported a judicial inquiry into anti-Semitism on campuses. That's something that the coalition is prepared to do, but the ALP is not. Both of them decried the lack of leadership that we have seen in respect at the federal level in respect of anti-Semitism, and they both in different ways stress the importance of anti-Semitism not being a Jewish issue but being an issue for whole of community, because if we have a part of Australian society that is diminished simply because of their race, religion or ethnicity, it diminishes us all. And I was pleased to see that there was common ground between Monique Ryan and Amelia Hamer for that position in Kyong.
Daniel, just finally, how disappointed are you as a Jewish voter that the Prime Minister of our country has preferenced a very vocal anti-Israel Greens candidate second on his how to vote card?
Well, we're bitterly disappointed by that, and indeed it's something that has occurred across the board with not only the Prime Minister but across the Labor Party, with only one or two exceptions, one of them being Josh Burns in Macnamara. But there's this notion that somehow the parliamentary party or the non-parliamentary party gets to decide, and so the Greens should go second because there's some benefit arising from that across the board. The problem I have with that is, again, this question of leadership. The Greens are a scourge as far as we are concerned. They have within them a sitting member of the New South Wales Parliament who said that Jews use their tentacles to influence organisations and they should be called out for it. The Chief of Staff of their for their anti-racism spokesperson said that the attack on the Adass Israel synagogue in Melbourne was a Zionist plot because they've done it before. That is to say, we burnt down our own synagogue. These are the people that are within high levels of the Greens party. And this is the organisation that the ALP has seen fit to place second across the country, including in the PM's own electorate. That sends a message. It doesn't matter whether it's a safe seat or a risky seat or whatever it is. The message it sends is that these people, this scourge, these people who diminish us as Jews are good enough to go second to the Labor Party ahead of everybody else. That is bitterly disappointing for us.
Oh, it's disgraceful, I think. Daniel, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Steve.